Well, good evening, everybody. Hello.
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 I'm Brad.
I'm Krista.
Well, yeah.
Usually.
Yeah.
We should, you know what? We should mess it up.
And sit over there?
And swap and say things backwards.
Like as in
Hi,
reverse?
everybody. I'm Krista.
I don't even know what you mean by that.
Say, I'm Brad.
I'm Brad.
And from the Big Family Homestead. See, it doesn't even work.
I don't even know.
I totally mess it up.
I thought you meant speaking in reverse.
No.
I
don't think I could do that.
I just said, hello, I'm Brad. Hey, you guys, good evening.
Hello.
I hope you are ready for some good news. Holy smokes, we've got some stories here, ladies and gentlemen. These are some really good stories. We are wore out.
They're good stories.
We are wore out.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, the easiest thing we had to do today was kind of watch guys unload a bunch of hay. We didn't help out. We didn't honestly help out enough. I feel like we kind of dropped the ball.
I stood way back because, oh boy,
they were doing some challenging things with my tractor.
Oh my.
You'll see. We'll show you here in a little
really
bit.
Tested tonight.
Yeah, you'll see that it was a little bit. Let's just say it was. Oh yeah, get her done, baby, get her done. And we have it on film. Aha.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. But I got some different perspectives on my phone that he doesn't have yet to show you. So it's
maybe we'll put that out in an actual video.
That's gonna have to come out this week because holy
yeah.
smokes.
So let's do a little bit of recap of the week before we get into our videos and our good news.
A little recap.
What?
We have had such a crazy week.
It's been busy.
I feel like I'm spinning in circles.
Kelly,
just
good
crazy.
news is on the way.
It's coming.
Don't you be afraid. Speech impediment. Oh, you guys are picking on me.
He's Brad and he's Krista.
I don't even know.
Not in this world.
All right, so here's the question number one. Would you spit it?
No.
What'd you do?
No, I just said, hello, she's Brad and he's Krista. I'm like, oh, no, not in this world.
We don't do those special pronouns. And by that, I mean negative. Negative Ghost Rider. The pattern is full. You are not clear for a flyby. So, who here has had a challenging week? You guys. Challenging week? You're going to have to type. One of the cool things about this show is that it is interactive, and we really do try to monitor the comments. Mm-hmm. And if something jumps out at us, then we will interact. Mm-hmm. Like if you guys have a question, we can sometimes get to them.
Right.
But all caps, that helps.
Yes, put it in all caps, and we will definitely try to get to those.
Don't you start, Robert.
Not that one, Robert. I'm going to
Don't you start, Robert. We're going to come at you. I'll come at you like a spider monkey. Don't even start. Pick me.
Oh
yes,
my.
challenging week. Yes. Okay, so a little recap of what's going on while you guys are typing. We have a friend named Ryan. You guys probably know. He's been building his house. He helped build our barn, and they're just an awesome family. And we helped them out this week by securing a flock of sheep.
Yes. A flock of sheep.
Not a
Which
flock of
sounds-
seagulls.
It sounds so weird, but I know it's flock of sheep, herd of goats.
I think
don't
you're wrong in
understand.
that.
No, it's
Somebody Google it,
go
please.
Google it. Tell me if it's flock of sheep, herd of goats.
And I lamb so far away.
Oh my heavens!
Couldn't get no hay. Dun, 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 dun.
That's hysterical.
Well, see what happens.
Oh my goodness!
This is the kind of quality you expect when you're married to me, baby. Anyway,
Yeah.
so tell them about them.
So we found a flock of sheep, and they were a mixed breed. They were hair sheep, not the woolly kind. They shed their hair, but they were St. Croix Katahdin sheep. And so we found an amazing deal from this wonderful family. They're an older couple, and they just wanted to get out of having these sheep.
They were foster parents to 18 kids?
They had 3 of their own biological, and then I think it was 18.
17 or 18 kids.
Something like that. And 3 of those, she told me they had G tubes. So
Yeah.
I'm believing that a lot of them had special needs.
They were cool
That was
people.
amazing. Anyway,
Yeah.
so they were selling 9 sheep.
And they wouldn't let them go separate.
Nope, they all had to go together or they didn't go. And it was such an amazing deal.
Deslock 124224. No need for them to get a haircut.
Nope.
Yeah, that's correct. And you know what? The funny thing is some people will raise sheep for the wool, but other folks want only the meat, only the milk.
Right.
And for the people that only want the meat and the milk, it's a hassle to have them sheared.
Yeah.
Or do the shearing yourself.
Right.
So this was a win-win-win for them.
Right. So this was a really huge blessing. They'll be able to use them for meat and for milk, and continue their flock, because there was the adult ones. There was 3 ewes and a ram, and then there were 5 lambs. So out of those 5 lambs, there was 4 ewes and a ram. So.
Terry's asking how much did 9 sheep cost. I'll tell you what, it was a screaming deal.
That was probably the most inexpensive I'd ever thought.
Yeah, and they were all healthy.
They were all healthy. That was what I was. That was what I was kind of afraid of, is that they were not healthy, but they were healthy animals. Can I tell them how much?
I don't see a reason why not.
Okay, they were $1,000.
But you had to take all of
9
them.
sheep. Yeah. So.
Which that was a really good deal.
Right.
Yeah, and I was so happy when we were, okay, here's the thing. At Ryan's house, we really didn't have exactly a plan on how to corral them into their new pen because of the logistics of where they're at. And
There was
we're
no way to back the trailer up.
We
in
couldn't
this
get it
area.
close, and then it had been raining, and there was mud.
And mosquitoes.
Lots of mosquitoes. And so the problem was, what do you do if one of them takes
the trailer through the side door, and he passed out the
Yeah.
lambs. And the biggest one was what, 20 pounds?
Yeah, they weren't that
they
bad.
weren't that big. So we carried the lambs to the pen.
Put you had 3 of them in there, 4 of them in there. The
There were
little
all
ones.
5 of them were in there. Yeah.
And then we just started to kind of walk them with food, and then they saw the babies,
And
and
they took off.
Pyong! We didn't have to do anything.
Well, and I had decided, okay, I don't want to, because we didn't deliver them over there until after after chores were done.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, I'm not feeding them their grain until we take them over there.
Yeah.
And they were wanting it. They were hungry. So.
But what was funny was
awesome.
between the trailer and their pen was their children's play area, like swings and stuff. And I was standing there going, okay, I was in awe. I was like, this is working. This is working. Because usually when we're involved, things are burning or broken or some animal just ran off and now we're going to chase it for 4 hours. But it was working and I'm going, this is working. This is working. And then 2 of them bolt, pew, and they jump straight through over the swing seat.
They went through
like
the swings.
Pew, like that. And I couldn't believe it. I was like, did you just see that?
I missed it. My back was turned. I didn't see that, but it was.
I was like, bring them back. Let's try that again.
I was like, this is working. Yes.
Yeah, no kidding.
It was great. It was really, really great.
So our buddy Ryan has, and his family now have their sheep. You on a slide.
Unislide, yeah.
Unislide,
Yeah, that's funny.
And he had done something very kind in. He would have done it anyway,
Right.
but he had done something kind for us at the same time we were doing something kind for him,
Right.
which is what you call community, people. Pay attention. You
Right.
should be doing this.
All we did for him was go and buy the sheep for him. I mean, it was his money, so it
But we
wasn't
went
ours.
and got him.
We went and picked him. We went, looked at him, picked him up, brought him to his house. We kept him here
That was
for a
all.
couple of days.
No big deal. 2 days, I think.
2 days, not even 2 days, but yeah, we kept him here.
No big deal.
And so yeah, it was perfect.
So we needed a front end hay spear for our tractor because of the logistics on how we want to keep our hay. It's going to be so much easier to see it, stab it, move it. You can stack them that way where you really can't with the bale spear being on the back on the 3-point on a tractor. Well, he went and got the metal and fabricated a quick attach that you can actually stick your already standard universal 3-point device on it. In this case, our hay spear fits perfectly on this quick attach thing that he made for the front end of our tractor. So it's literally 2 bars that go like this, and then the bucket, like the big bucket, you just back away from it.
Yeah.
Then you put that thing on there, and then you could just hook the bale spear on there. And boy, oh boy,
It was such a cool device.
he did it really nice.
I would have never thought of that. And of course, I'm not that kind of technical minded person, but if he wants to make a thing, that's what he does. He just makes a thing.
Makes a thing.
He's got the skill to make the things. It's really cool.
Well, this might be a good time for us to show them the video that we took.
Yes.
Okay, so here I got to set this up, or else it won't be nearly as enjoyable.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. So we had arranged to buy some bales of hay, and we didn't really think that the people delivering it were not going to have a way to get them off of their trailer until we'd already scheduled for them to come and the whole thing. Meanwhile, Ryan was building this hay spear. We didn't really know.
Right.
And then, lo and behold, it just worked out. The timing was perfect. So today, we had some hay delivered, and the guys that delivered the hay, their plan was just to roll them off. These are 1,600, 1,800 pound bales of hay.
Yeah. They're massive marshmallows.
Yeah. The dude was big and nice family, like really cool people. He was like super big. But I guess there was something wrong with his knee, and so he brought his kids. There was like three
teenage
of them.
boys. Well, one I think the oldest one I think
lads.
is an adult. He might be in his 20s, but
No, he's dating the farmer's daughter.
yeah.
No, literally.
Oh, is he?
That's no joke.
Oh, so he's not his son.
I can't remember their names either.
Boyfriend.
It
okay.
was like Lauren. No, I don't. I'm not.
It's okay.
I think it was an L word. Sorry, guys, if you're watching. But yeah, he was a strapping young lad, and we were getting ready to just muscle these things off. And I thought, oh, we were going to kill ourselves. But then I remembered.
14 of them up there.
Then I remembered. Wait a minute. Ryan brought this bale spear, and it's hooked onto the front of the tractor. So I said, guys, oh, it's Logan. That's Logan. There he is.
I might be.
Ha ha.
That's funny.
Yeah. So I remembered that it was there, but I didn't want to do this because those bales were so heavy, and I knew that I would probably break something in the process
Oh my gosh.
because I'm not used to it yet.
No.
It was brand new.
So he's like, anybody feel comfortable using this? And
And
moving
Logan's
those
like,
sure, I'll do it.
No problem. He jumps in there. He's like, ding, done. No problem.
Yeah.
But then, here, now you have to
you
watch.
gotta see this.
Now you have to
Oh,
watch.
my goodness.
And let me see, make sure I get the right thing. On your mark, it's set. We'll be back in just a minute.
Last time was it raining?
Yeah, it seems like every time we get hay, it's raining.
Oh well, it's good. It's good for the grass. Good for the crops.
It's good for my complexion.
It's right.
That's great, man.
Oh my god.
So, you want to talk about get her done attitude? Well done, gentlemen.
Yes.
They were literally using themselves as ballast.
And okay, so that the box blade was on the back,
So that's 450
and that's at
pounds.
least 450 pounds. Yeah, that's a beast. And I mean, I had to walk away.
Well, she actually got video that I didn't have time to put into this.
Yeah.
That the tractor, I'm standing there just enjoying myself filming, right? And the tractor starts coming my way.
I'm like,
and
move.
it was literally off the ground on the back. And they didn't have a way. It was like no traction. That's
Yeah.
what he was doing. He was literally pulling the tractor and steering it by dragging it around.
It scared me,
It was,
honestly.
hey, can we get a round of applause for the
Yes.
guys?
Yes.
Logan's here.
My hat's off. Well, I don't have a hat,
Where
but
was it? The
Logan
ranch man.
and John the ranch man.
That's
yeah.
that's two of the guys.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Little applause, people.
Thank you so very much.
A round of applause.
Round of applause.
We'll give you the seal of approval. Seal of approval.
So, and okay, so you guys saw we're now marshmallow farmers. not
Yeah, did
farmers.
you see all
we
those?
just bought all those marshmallows. I love them. They're so delicious. No.
Yeah.
No, I am so glad that they're wrapped because they're going to last longer
Yep.
with the weather that we have here. So, since we don't have a barn to keep our hay in, it will last longer. And the hole that was poked by the spear, we just covered it up with some duct tape so
Yep.
it can keep it from moisture getting inside.
Well,
So,
and here's the other part to this. They're coming out next weekend to get some more hay.
no, to deliver some more hay.
Yeah, to deliver some more hay. So I'm guessing we might get a little more antics kind of style video out of these guys because they're the total get her done guys.
Yeah.
So
Oh my goodness.
if I was wearing a hat, hats off, gentlemen.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
All right.
We pulled a little bit of the hay out just to smell
Oh,
it.
good hay.
And
Yeah.
it just looks fantastic. I have not seen hay like this. So
We're excited
Mm-hmm.
because not only are their bales were packed tight. So that was
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
it's going to be nice. But now the problem is I got to figure out a way cuz I can't move this thing around without I'm not going to just like call up, 3 or 4 heavy dudes and be like, "Can you just come sit on the back of the tractor?"
yeah, we need some weights for the back.
We need some weights.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or else they're sitting exactly where they are right now until I
Yeah.
get weights.
Yeah. Ryan,
Yeah.
help us figure out how to do the weights. No.
Logan, he
Yeah.
suggested putting a box on the back and filling it up with cement.
Like what kind of box?
I'm guessing not cardboard.
That probably would be a bad idea.
I'm guessing not cardboard.
I'm just okay. It's fine. We're
We're a little punchy today.
Yes, we have had probably the most exhausting
4 or 5 days.
I'm thinking 3 weeks.
Yeah, we didn't do much for those guys. We just watched.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah.
had to go away because that was stressing me out.
So, I know. Geez, Pete's folks, we forgot right off the bat. It's and Memorial Day is
Memorial
tomorrow,
Day, yeah.
and I not to get too preachy, but I hope that you, in your heart of hearts, are grateful and thankful for those who have given their lives for us to have the freedoms we have.
Yeah.
Because freedom is not free.
No.
And blood is the price. And while barbecues are fun and great and grand, and everybody wants to save money on their mattress, but please do some time of reflection as well and gratitude.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
because we are very grateful.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
all right. Other stuff that's going on, and then we're going to get to our good news. Oh, Dottie.
Okay. So, Dottie had, as many of you may know,
Dottie's our cow.
Dottie is our cow, and she finally had her calf. She actually had her calf early. She was supposed to have it. She was due tomorrow. She had her calf early in the morning, Friday morning. It was about 2 o'clock in the morning. But today, I noticed she wasn't right. I let her go outside this morning, but before we left for church, just so she could get some fresh grass and just be outside in the sun. And I had her come back in when we got home from church a couple hours later, and I left the calf in the barn. And I didn't let the calf out; I just left him inside. And she's just not right. So I took her temperature. 104.5.
Not good.
Not a good temperature.
Not good.
She's just kind of lethargic. Well, come to find, we called the vet.
And thank God he came out.
He was
within
able to,
like an hour and a half.
Yeah, he was able to come out, and poor Dottie has toxic mastitis.
Not masculinity.
Not
That's different.
Ooh, no. It's not good. Mastitis by itself is not too terribly of an issue, but toxic mastitis is not good at all.
Gets into the whole, not just their teats.
Yeah, it can get into their whole body, and if it's not treated, then it could cause sepsis. So he gave her a he gave her an antibiotic, and I can't remember what it is.
Something with a B, I think.
No, that was the betamine.
He did a lot, which was awesome.
Yeah, he did. He gave her something to help with the fever, to bring the fever down. When he got here, it was 100. It was over 105, and so he gave her something for her fever. He gave us some aspirin boluses, and then also gave her an antibiotic. Yeah.
I feel like she's gonna be okay.
She's gonna be
She
okay.
was drinking water, which that's a big thing.
Yeah.
She was eating, and she was allowing the calf to suck on her, so that was fine.
Yeah.
Our vet is so cool. He's like, if I got to come out tomorrow, I'll come out tomorrow. If I
Yeah.
got to come out 2 days from now, I'll come out 2 days from now.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's going to be. I think we should be concerned, but not. Never fear, but
Right.
I don't think it's something that's going to take her out.
Right. So
I hope not.
K&S is asking, how do they get that? It's environmental. It could have just been. So what our vet was telling us is that when her teats are like, if she's being milked by her calf or whatever, the teats are open for about 30 minutes. The opening is open for about 30 minutes. And if she lays down in mud or poop or, anything like that, then it can get in there.
And they do that all the time.
And they do that all the time. I mean, we can't keep a, perfectly sterile barn. It can be clean, and it is, but it's not perfectly clean. It's not possible. Unless we sprayed it down with bleach and
Every 10 minutes.
10 minutes, and that's not going to happen. So,
she's got the medicine she needs.
she's got the medicine she needs. She was seeming a tiny bit better tonight when I went out there.
Well, I hooked up a fan for her because she's hot. So, I got a box fan that's straight on her.
Yeah.
And we're going to because tomorrow, unfortunately, is going to be hot.
Yeah.
So we're going to just come on out there and douse her down with water every so often and let her lay in front of the fan.
Yep. We're going to
Cool
hose her
out.
off outside and let her lay down. And
Yeah.
yeah.
So-
So, yep. That's,
I'm feeling optimistic that she's going to be okay,
Yeah.
but you never know.
yeah. So we gotta take care of our little girl.
Someone was asking, is the cow for milk or breeding steak? Koki, our cow Dottie is a milk cow.
Yeah.
She just had a baby.
Yeah, the baby is going to be for meat later on, but
Right.
she's our milk cow. So.
Okay. One other quick question. ASD does games. Starlink. Oh, it's a bummer for you. Yeah, our Starlink's working great. We kept our. He's asking about our internet.
Okay.
We kept our AT&T, and right now we're on AT&T. But when things get weird, we can switch between them, and that's really great. So, okay. Other than that, the hay delivery. Here's another thing, guys. We don't deal in fear ever when it comes to the news.
No.
Sometimes we'll inform you when we know something from a credible only source that I can prove. And it's no big it's no big surprise if somebody told you, hey, gas prices are going to go up. Right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to say this. If you have the means and you have need of machinery that needs to work or propane tanks, you might want to top those off before summer gets here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's just say that without getting too crazy. All right?
Yeah.
So that said, here's Dottie. But this was after the vet. I mean, we kind of talked about it already, but here's Dottie.
Yeah.
Yeah, the doctor just left. And doing our best to keep her cool. We got this fan going. And that fan going up there. She has been drinking water, so that's good. And, well, I'll let Christa tell you more about what's going on there. Alrighty, what? I don't get it. What?
Read the comment.
Which comment?
The last one that just came in.
Oh.
That's funny, Jamie.
Oh.
So we named the calf Chuck.
John is saying $1,000 startup, pretty sure. No. When we got our Starlink, we had to buy the equipment, which was $600.
Yeah.
And then it's $100 a month.
Yeah. 110. It just went up. It's 110.
Yeah, so that's not good, but at least you still have high speed and you can live in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
So, are you guys ready for some good news?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm about ready for some good news. I am sick of the bad news, and you know what? I miss the radio star Paul Harvey, and he used to be a light in my world every weekday. And so he may be gone, but he's not forgotten, and we are going to live on in his tradition of telling you some either interesting or exciting or courageous or just flat out heartwarming news. I will say there's one in here that you may need to grab a tissue on. Just maybe a little bit.
It's good news.
It's good news. But you're going to have to
Towards
hang
the
in
end.
there.
Yeah.
All right. So on your mark, get set. Story number 1 comes to you from Christa. The good news desk. There we go.
Over the last 2 decades, a secret institution has gone largely uncredited with some fairly remarkable achievements in animal conservation, but as well as potentially offering the only chance for the northern white rhino's survival. The Frozen Zoo in San Diego has already given a second chance to animals as close to and sometimes over the brink as possible. San Diego's Frozen Zoo is not a place to see polar bears and penguins, but rather a cryobank of cells from endangered animals from around the world. It was their stored genetic material that has led to the cloning of the critically endangered and undomesticated Przewalski's horse in 2020. Excuse me.
Need some water?
No, I'm good. An Indian guar, a species of humpbacked wild ox in 2013, and a banteng
Ooh.
a species of cattle found in Southeast Asia in 2003, and a black-footed ferret also in 2020.
Cool.
The Frozen Zoo has been around for 50 years. Started in 1972, the year you were born, that's cool,
My birth year.
by a biologist named Kurt
Ben Shirky.
Ben-Shirky. Above the door to his lab is a sign that prophetically read, "You must collect the things for reasons you don't yet understand."
That's cool.
Funny. Referring mostly to skin cells stored in frozen zoo at negative 320 degrees Fahrenheit. Some scientists have determined that the biodiversity of life on Earth may fall by around 1 million species in the next century. To this end, the work of institutions like Frozen Zoo is becoming even more critical. CNN Sure.
It's okay. You can wash your mouth out later.
Okay, thanks. Because I just kind of threw up in my mouth here a little bit. This particular news station reports that
Just keep swimming.
Yeah.
Just keep swimming.
they are already saving eggs and sperm of animals like the cheetah, not yet recognized as endangered, but at a high risk of doing so. In total, they have 10,500 individual animals from 1,222 species, and currently among them is the only frozen material from male northern white rhinos, 12 to be exact, from which they've managed to create stem cells, which could be used to create sperm to fertilize an egg, which would then have to be carried by closely related southern white rhino subspecies. Frozen Zoo isn't the only organization that cryobanks endangered animals. Nature Safe, founded by Tullis Matson, also collects cells of the same types for the same purpose. Cryobanking receives little of any kind of funding, and most are working on shoestrings. However, Matson told the news he sees the greater challenge since private donations are there, but an inter-program coordination. The task is enormous. Nobody can do this on their own, says Matson. There's 1 million species at risk. We need 50 different genetic samples from each, so that means 50 million samples. For each of those, we need 5 vials of each sample. So that's hundreds of millions of samples that need to be stored.
That's really pretty cool.
Yeah.
The endangered species thing. I think it's important.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder though if they have the endangered species of the conservative white human male, because that's really fading fast. So
Yes.
gonna need some hair samples and
Yes.
fingernail clippings, and we'll send it all in. All right. So yeah, I don't know what.
What were you saying about?
And that's this. The popularity of solar. Bam! There's a solar panel. The popularity of solar has gone through the roof. No pun intended. And now IKEA is making it easier to install some panels on your roof. Launching this fall in California, members of the U.S. IKEA Family Customer Loyalty Program will be able to purchase home solar solutions through SunPower to generate and store their own renewable energy and live more sustainably. At IKEA, we're passionate about helping our customers live more sustainable lives at home. We are proud to collaborate with SunPower to bring this service to the U.S. and to enable our customers to make individual choices aimed at reducing their overall climate footprint. To be honest, this is honestly basically a commercial.
Yeah.
I just thought what was cool about it is that you've got a major retailer that's going to be offering solar equipment all over the world. It's going to start in Cali, but it's going to be all over the world, and I think that's really beneficial, because the only place that you can really go to get solar stuff right now that's not on the internet really is Harbor Freight. Mm-hmm. And the Harbor Freight stuff is just not good quality.
No.
We started out, when we started learning about solar, we probably bought 4 of their kits. You know, they're like the $150 kit.
Yeah.
And they give you a panel and a really bad charge controller.
Inverter.
Yeah.
It was
and we killed
garbage.
We killed so many battery banks not knowing what we're doing.
Yeah.
But that the fact that it'll be out there more commercially available, I think will really open the door for a lot of people who want to do solar, but you can't justify going, well, I'm going to spend $60,000 putting some panels on my roof.
Yeah. I looked up what the Tesla ones were.
For us?
For us? Oh.
Yeah.
$57,000 with 2 power walls and solar panels, for this size house. No.
And you know what? When you actually pencil the math out, if you don't get the right deal, you won't do financially well.
No.
So you got to be careful. Anyway, this next story is a heart warmer. I love it.
This one's really funny, and I bet our daughter would absolutely love this
She
one.
would love it, and maybe we should do this for her for a birthday.
Yes, I think that would be a good idea.
Go
I
ahead,
chuckled
Mama.
when I read this. Iceland has trotted out a service that lets horses reply to work emails when you're on holiday.
Hold on.
No.
Repeat that again.
Iceland has trotted out a service that lets horses
That's it.
reply to work emails
That's
when
correct.
you're on holiday.
Yep, horses.
The world's first out horse your email service is designed to encourage travelers to switch off and take an uninterrupted trip to the country.
There you go.
Using a large keyboard mat, the gaited horses are able to walk, trot, canter, tolt. I've never heard that word before.
It's
Must
important.
be some
It's an industry
and
standard.
pace their way across the keys. Unsurprisingly, the result is nonsense replies to corporate contacts with examples listed as, quote, PPNJIFA equals, etc. I'm not going to, it's like 3 lines long. I'm not going to say it all. But that's what it is. It's nonsensical. A recent global study by Visit Iceland found that 41% of people globally check their work emails between 1 and 4 times a day when on holiday, while 1 in 10
This is great.
1 in 10 review them 5 to 6 times every day. When visitors travel to Iceland, we want them to fully experience everything our nation has to offer. From breathtaking surroundings to
horses' emails.
endless landscapes and friendly faces. I am not going to even attempt to read this man's name, but he is the head of Visit Iceland. He said, our out horse your email service lets them do just that, taking away the pressure of feeling as if they have to be always on and instead allowing them to be present throughout their trip. With our world first service, we hope to encourage people to disconnect and take a well-deserved uninterrupted break. Our talented
awesome.
horses took naturally to the Outhorse Your Email service, tolting. I don't know what tolting is. I'm going to look it up later. And galloping their way across the fields, creating a range of unique emails that will help holiday makers enjoy their trip without any interruptions. Jelena project manager of Horses of Iceland, said, "From curiosity, intelligence, and independence, our horses are special for many reasons. And so now we can add email responders too."
That's nice.
Hysterical.
All right, quick question, answer time. Our daughter, Hope, has not gotten a horse yet.
No, not yet.
She has saved up a good chunk of money. And, well, let's just say this. She spends every waking moment that's not outside doing chores looking for that horse.
Looking for that horse, watching horse videos, learning training techniques, to help with her donkey or with a future horse.
And we we've talked to her trainer about, because she sells horses.
Yeah.
We went and visited those people when we got the sheep, and they sell some great horses, beautiful animals.
Yeah.
But nothing's a good fit yet.
No.
Not yet.
No.
Wouldn't really matter because we're not done building the fence, but
Yeah.
but
When
that
we get
should
the
be
fence
soon.
done, when we get the fence done, she can look more seriously than she is already.
Yeah. But the nice thing is, with every passing week, she does make more money, so she can afford a better horse.
Right. Right.
So, all right. Next.
What a stable
Story.
conversation.
That's funny. This is okay. When John Kinnear bought a selection of paintings for an impoverished Nova Scotia painter, his chief hope was that they might buy him a grilled cheese sandwich. His favorite dinner in London, Ontario, made an unforgettable grilled cheese with 5-year-old cheddar and freshly baked bread. Maybe if they liked one of the paintings, he could secure a series of sandwiches on the house. Now, 50 years later, that trade has secured Irene and Tony Dima, the married couple that ran the diner, a small fortune, as the paintings were made by the now acclaimed folk painter Maud Lewis and sold some weeks ago for $250,000. Boom.
Oh,
How you like
wow.
that? 50 years ago, Irene and Tony hoped one day to convince their regular customer, Mr. Kinnear, to try something other than the grilled cheese. But not only did they fail in that regard, they found themselves making a deal for free grilled cheeses in the future. Irene learned that bartering and dealing with money was better in many circumstances and traded food from their restaurant out to merchants and customers. So when Mr. Kinnear arrived one day with his customary sandwich carrying him a selection of paintings, it wasn't a big deal to make the swap. One painting stood out to the then pregnant Miss Dima, a cheery painting of a black pickup truck going down a neighborhood road, which she thought would look great on her son's bedroom wall. I almost said bathroom wall. I just sat there in silence and looked at it for a while. I'd never seen any art like that before, Dima remembered, telling The Guardian. At first, I thought they might be playing some sort of trick on me. Did the kid do some of these? Using leftover paint that fishermen would use to paint their boats with, and whatever wooden boards were clean enough condition to paint on. Maud Lewis, a poor artist whose acclaim has grown hugely since her death in 1970, painted many works throughout her difficult life. In return for some painting supplies, Mr. Kinnear received some of her paintings after he felt sorry for her. After news of her fame and soaring value of her works reached the Demazes, their children encouraged them to auction them off, and the painting hung in their bedroom for all their childhood. My husband's 90, and I don't think I have another 50 years to hang on to it, says Mrs. DeMaw before the sale. The kids are saying, use the money and travel. Just enjoy life. Mm-hmm. The sale fetched $273,000.
Yikes.
Bum, bum, bum. Wow. All right, Mom, you got to tell folks about here's our shameless commercial
Plug.
It's our store on our website.
Is it?
It is. We've got all kinds of
Yeah.
goodies there. There's everything from beard balms. There's what other stuff we got up
Shaving
there?
oil, lip balm, healing hands, which is one of my favorites.
Tell them what it does for you.
I used to get these nasty, nasty cracks on my hands, and I use that stuff every day before I go to bed, and I don't get those cracks in my fingers anymore. I wash my hands all the time. I'm out in the barn, doing work, and I do a lot of stuff, okay? And so I don't get those cracks anymore, which
That's pretty awesome.
it's because of that stuff.
It's on our store.
It's on our store, bigfamilyhomestead.com/shop. Yes.
That's right. And
Yeah.
there's a link down below. Mm-hmm. And so there you go. There's the shameless plug. Oh, actually, I do want to make another shameless plug. It's not for us. It's for the Moringa people. If you do not know the Pura Vida Moringa that I love it. They are doing a giveaway that you could win Moringa for a year for free. And I believe there's a link in the description down below.
There is a link, and I think that link, doesn't it get you?
It's either 10% or 15%. I honestly can't remember.
15% off.
But if you buy some powder, then they automatically register you for a sweepstakes, is what it is.
Yeah.
So that you can win Moringa for a year for free.
Yep.
So there you go.
Yep. All right.
Enough of that.
Turn.
Next story.
My turn.
Your turn.
In the late 1960s, Fred was a student at Yale trying without much success to make a particularly good impression on his economics professor. But then Fred got this idea for a brief economics thesis, something a whole lot more interesting than you might expect from a college paper. Anyway, the topic, Fred's original idea now was a super efficient, privately managed postal service. A hypothetical company that would buy for itself a fleet of jet aircraft, and the planes would fly only in the middle of the night. Don't get ahead of me. Letters and packages would be taken to a central location for sorting. Then the planes would fly the parcels to their destinations the same evening. That's right. That's what the paper that Fred wrote for his economics class. And today, Frederick W. Smith is chairman and president and CEO of that hypothetical company, only it's not hypothetical anymore. Today, it employs 290,000 people. It earned $38 billion over the last fiscal year, and the fleet of jets that Fred envisioned in the economics class paper, there were 672 planes in it now, and 80,000 other motorized vehicles in the service of, that's right, in the service of the Federal Express. The corporation that began as a college whim and began a worldwide sensation. In 1971, in the beginning, of course, Federal Express was defined as an alternative to the government-run postal system. But isn't it interesting some of the refinements that Fred Smith incorporated into his revolutionary enterprise were indirectly inspired by the government? You see, after graduating from Yale, Fred enlisted in the Marine Corps. He would serve he would serve 2 tours of duty in Vietnam. Incidentally, he'd never forget what he considers the best advice he ever got. It was from a Marine sergeant who told him there were only 3 things you've got to remember: shoot, move, and communicate.
Amen.
But more to the point, Lieutenant Smith became fascinated by military procurement and delivery procedures, and his observations only encouraged him so that when he got back home, he told himself he would go forward with the overnight commercial delivery service, the one he dreamed up in college. As his main competitor, the United States Postal Service today, United States Postal Service, today, it's barely holding on to its 32% share of that market against the 31% share of Fred Smith's Federal Express. And can you imagine that it all started with a college paper for an ordinary economics class? It's not often that the origin of an institution can be pinpointed so precisely.
Nice.
But there's a lesson in all of this. How easily Fred Smith might have been discouraged. Or did I mention that on that school paper he wrote, the one in which he outlined one of the biggest business successes in all American history, on that school paper, he got a C.
A C.
He was graded a C.
Wow. You, sir, deserve a Culver's burger. But I am certain he can afford his own.
I think he can afford his own.
Yeah,
He can afford his own Culver's franchise.
he can own whatever he wants.
Can own whatever he wants.
Yeah, I did when I was looking that story up. He has since stepped down as CEO.
Yeah.
But wow, how about that? And not only is it a cool story that a success story. I love success stories, but he created an industry that changed the world because then you had UPS, then you had all these other competitors come up, and who would have thought that you could take, I don't know, anything, a washing machine. If you wanted to pay enough, you could take a washing machine and it could be in Soviet Union tomorrow. If you wanted to pay enough.
Right.
That's amazing. So,
Crazy.
you, sir, deserve a Culver's burger. Yeah, that teacher, a C. Hopefully it was a C plus at least.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Still, I mean, a C, even a C plus, that doesn't really
It doesn't really ring true.
doesn't make it any better,
No. Okay, here we go. It was an easy caller. After all, the perpetrator, one Robert Cotter, was only 11 years young. And still, the punks in that Philadelphia neighborhood had been stealing and dealing more than usual, especially since April. So the cops had to crack down on the criminals of every size. And on that particular June afternoon, Bobby Cotter was swept up in the inexorable dragnet. He'd been spotted fleeing the scene on foot, but the authorities, poised to pounce, arrested the boy in possession of stolen goods. Police questioned the owners of the pilfered property, ascertained that it was indeed theirs, and that's all the cops had to know. Bobby was going downtown. Mrs. Cotter, the boy's mother, was near frantic. What did they mean? She kept insisting at the precinct headquarters. What did they mean that her baby had to spend the night in jail? Well, that was precisely what they meant. And it was further suggested that maybe a few hours in the lockup would do the little hoodlum some good. Put in him the right frame of mind for the arraignment for the following morning. And so, trying to conceal her sadness, and especially her fear, Mrs. Cotter hugged Bobby goodbye and returned home. It was a long, lonely night during which the lad pondered his crime. Maybe the judge would go easy. After all, possession was nowhere near as bad as dealing, and the kids had been dealing plenty in that neighborhood where Bobby'd been nabbed. Next morning, the youngster was hustled from his cell, taken to court, the Honorable Charles Lincoln Brown presiding. As the facts were presented, Judge Brown scowled in silence. He seemed so angry that Bobby feared the stiffest possible sentence might be handed him. And indeed, after testimony had been given, after each side had rested its case, the judge folded his arms and leaned back in his chair and said, "I have experienced virtually every emotion in my career as a jurist. Joy, sorrow, hope, and despair, all of them. But," he said, "seldom in all of my years at this bench have I been more infuriated than this morning, or have I been more disappointed than I am now at the plaintiffs." Bobby, who had been staring ashamedly at the floor, suddenly looked up. Had he misunderstood? No, he had not. Judge Brown was glaring directly to the man representing the owners of the property which he, Bobby, had stolen. The defendant, Judge Brown continued, was simply following his most natural instincts. "In fact, I would have done the same thing in his place," said the judge. "So my ruling is finders keepers." Court adjourned. The astonished boy ran into the arms of his waiting mother. It was a landmark decision that Judge Brown made that day, one so significant, so far-reaching, that all of these 76 years later remains a proud and prominent statue to him downtown in a Philadelphia courthouse. For as the rest of his ruling and the widespread publicity which followed, not only did the local plaintiffs change their petty larceny policy, but similar businessmen all over the country soon did the same. For until the summer of 1922, baseball fans were legally required to return baseballs hit into the stands, and kids who caught and kept those balls or tried to sell them on the street for a quarter were considered criminals. But now, you know, that Thursday morning in July of 1922, when a Philadelphia judge made America's pastime more fun, and the fun it was always meant to be. How about that?
Great.
How about that?
Wow.
He didn't really have the Babe Ruth ball.
No, but when I saw that, I was like, and it says 1922 on it.
I know. I just Googled a baseball that was old.
That's awesome.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah. Goodness gracious. That is so neat.
You guys want to hear a few more good news stories?
We got 2 more.
I do. I do.
It used to be a hobo knew a soft touch even before he saw one. All he had to do was look at the curb outside someone's house, and if it had a certain mark on it, a code symbol left by other tramps, he would probably expect a handout and maybe something to eat and maybe something more. Well, there must have been such a mark on Bob and Shirley Tompkins' curb because back in February 2004, a hopeful-looking itinerant showed up at their door. He didn't ask for food or a few dollars. He didn't have the chance because at the very sight of him standing there on Tompkins' veranda, Shirley exclaimed, "Oh my goodness." And her expression was at once filled with compassion. And then, as though she could feel the pain her unexpected visitor sought to conceal, she spontaneously blurted out, "Is there anything I can do?" Well, no, ma'am, there wasn't. But it was evident that a bite of food would be much appreciated. So Shirley called to her husband, Bob, who hurriedly brought from the kitchen the first thing he laid his hands on, some hot dogs, a couple of frankfurters, that had been sitting on the refrigerator shelf. It was only the ragged wayfarer carefully accepted the modest feast and turned to walk away that Bob and Shirley noticed that he was lame, severely lame. Whether of an injury or a chronic condition, new or old, it was hard to say. Just looking, Bob said, wait, we want to help. But the stranger just kept walking. He became less a stranger though as the weeks and months passed. In fact, he returned to the couple's doorstep quite regularly. He accepted a meal when offered it, and no assistance otherwise. Regrettably, no medical attention for the lame leg. But then that autumn, something remarkable happened. The now familiar itinerant began bringing a silver-haired friend with him, and the companion was also lame. He, too, refused medical help for his conspicuous limp. He, too, relished the Tompkins hot dog dinners. Now, as far as I know, Bob and Shirley are visited even still by the peripatetic, who incidentally appeared a bit healthier the last time I asked. Because once upon a touch of kindness on the threshold of a little home near Prince George, British Columbia, a relationship was forged. Bob and Shirley Tompkins and a couple of hungry, hurting travelers, a red and silver fox. Yes, it was traps that most likely wounded both of them, and yes, it was love that saved them. For unable to dig, unable to run, the two animals would surely have starved. But somehow, those wild foxes knew they were where mercy dwelled. Zoologists say that an animal will share with another its instinct to survive. That's what zoologists say. Why don't they just call it love? Now we know the rest of the story.
Amen.
Yeah.
How cool.
Yeah. That's
little
so cool.
Little blessings around every corner. If you just pay attention, you know. Just pay attention.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Kindness goes a long way.
Sure does.
You know what the sad thing is, though, is that, I've no, let me put it this way. I love it when people are kind to animals. I do. I really do. We try to be as much as we can, above and beyond all the time.
Right.
But why can't we show that kind of kindness to humans more often?
Right.
There's the challenge. There's the challenge right there.
Right.
Okay.
Well, I think we need to, before we go on to the last story, we definitely need to acknowledge a person's birthday today. Did you read the?
Oh, Bulletproof Pastor.
I'm not singing. Happy birthday. You can sing.
Happy birth canal exiting day to you. You made it right down that small tube. Happy birth canal exiting day.
Oh my
boy.
gosh.
Good for you, my friend. Hats off to you. If you were up here, I'd buy you a Culver's.
Happy birthday, Tyler. I'm very sorry about the singing.
He's got
the words to the song.
He's not going to be here for the rest of the program. He's got to head out.
Oh.
Dun. You guys got any jokes? He's more than willing to listen. All right. Last story. Speaking of birth canals.
Exactly.
Here we go.
Oh my.
Natalie was 20, pretty, and pregnant. She and her husband, Martin, did so want a baby girl. The couple lived in a 2-family house at 415 Monroe Street, Hoboken, New Jersey. It was a modest but a happy home not far from the railroad yard and the docks. Martin was a small businessman. He owned a tavern in town. Natalie, in addition to being a housewife, was a practical nurse, and now she was pregnant. Although, all through the fall, the expected parents made plans for the new arrival. On what day would she be born? After whom would she take? It was always a she from the start. There was no question in Natalie's mind. Her child would be a girl. The young mother-to-be even purchased a bundle of baby clothing in anticipation, pink baby clothing. How frivolous these considerations must have seemed on the chill of that December morning so many years ago when Natalie's mother, Mama Rosa, had been up with her daughter most of the night. It was a difficult labor, and now with dawn's early light, still no child. Mama Rosa, having borne 9 children of her own, had developed a reliable intuition about these things. She knew this time something was terribly wrong. At last, Dr. Peterson arrived. By now, Natalie was many hours into her labor. A quick examination revealed the difficulty. The child was simply too large and unable to move. It would have to be forceps for the delivery. Minutes later, the child was apart from its mother, but utterly quiet. The left side of the infant's head had been lacerated by the forceps. The ear was almost severed. Said Dr. Peterson, "I'm sorry, the child is stillborn." Now, the only question was, could Natalie be saved? But now wait a minute. In quiet desperation, Dr. Peterson is working on the mother. He must stop her hemorrhaging, and soon. Mama Rosa, Natalie's mother, gazed at the silent infant in disbelief. Her grandchild born dead. It must not be. At that instant, Rosa remembered something one of her own midwives had told her long ago, and perhaps she remembered it for a reason, the reason for right here and right now. Quickly, Mama Rosa took the infant to a wash basin and placed what had been declared a stillborn baby under the cold tap water and turned on the faucet. A moment went by and nothing. Another moment, and the baby and the doctor had given up for dead coughed and cried out and breathed in. The baby was alive. Natalie was as fortunate as her newborn because shortly thereafter, her bleeding stopped. Hold on. Shortly thereafter, her bleeding stopped. As the bright Sunday sunlight danced on the freshly fallen snow, a new life was bequeathed to the world. Natalie's huge baby weighed 13.5 pounds at birth.
Oh my gosh.
That had been the problem. But now she and it were safe. So it didn't really matter how much or what Natalie discovered, that what she hoped for was a she was really a he. To this day, Natalie's baby boy has the scars from Dr. Peterson's forceps, as well as the name perhaps originally intended for her daughter, Francis. The blue-eyed boy who was supposed to have been a girl, the infant in the doctor thought stillborn, was stillborn and grew up to become Francis Albert, but he chose to be called Frank Sinatra. Frank Sinatra. Wow.
What an entrance into the world, man.
Here I am. He did it. He did it my way. I did it my way.
He did it his way. That's
he
right.
totally did.
Oh my
boy,
goodness.
Oh boy.
When Brad told me that story earlier, I was like, there is no way I'm going to be able to get through that story.
Wow. Frank Sinatra. And you know what? There's a lot of stuff that goes along with Frank Sinatra. But what an incredible talent. You can't deny the man's ability. You can't deny that just... I can think of so many songs that are like the backdrop to really cool memories in our life. Especially a lot of the Christmas music.
Yeah.
What's your favorite Frank Sinatra song? There you go. You guys type.
I can't think of them right now, but
What's your favorite Frank tune?
yeah.
Yeah?
Thank you, Tyler Woods.
Oh. Oh, yeah, dude. Why are you giving us a present? It's your birthday.
It's your birthday. Your present was to sing it.
Oh.
birthday
No, he
song.
gave me the $10 to stop singing.
Oh, that's what it was
That's
for.
what it was. He gave us the $10 to stop.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, here's the scoop. We love the good news. And we're going to keep doing it as long as we can. If you consider it, becoming a patron of ours does help, even if it's just $1 a month.
Yeah.
It helps a lot. Helps me believe it or not, I actually have to pay for these stories to be transcribed because I can't type.
Well, it would take a long time for you to be able to do that. Either
That's
of
okay.
us. Yeah.
But thank you. And if you're looking for a Bible study, I do a Bible study Monday through Friday in the morning, 8:30 Central Time Zone, and it's online. Big Family Devotions, not Big Family Homestead, but Big Family Devotions.
Yeah.
And we're starting a new book tomorrow. So we keep it real easy. We keep it light. There's no arguing. There's no throwing of stuff. And there's a lot of interaction. We pray for each other. And so I would encourage you, if you're up, come on over.
Yep.
So that said, we're going to pray real quick and have a great night. All right? Hope you guys enjoy this stuff. Father God, please just love on these people. Show them that you're not distant and you still care. You still care more than they will ever think, know, or imagine. Give them a big hug. Let them know they're loved. We thank you, Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
All right. You guys have an awesome and blessed night. Hopefully we'll see some of you tomorrow. All right. So I think, is that it?
I think so.
Is that it? Have a great night, you guys. Bye.
Bye.
cry, oh God. Listen to my prayer. From the end of the earth I call to you when my heart is faint. Lead me to the rock that is higher than I. For you have been my refuge, a strong tower against the enemy. May he be enthroned forever before God. Appoint steadfast love and faithfulness to watch over him, so I will ever sing praises to your name as I perform my vows day after day. Prolong the life of the King. May his years endure to all generations. Hear my cry, oh God. Listen to my prayer. From the end of the earth I call to you when my heart is faint. Lead me to the rock that is higher than I. For you have been my refuge, a strong tower against the enemy. So will I ever sing praises to your name as I perform my vows day after day. Hear my cry, oh God. Listen to my prayer. From the end of the earth I call to you when my heart is faint. Lead me to the rock that is higher than I. For you have been my refuge, a strong tower against the enemy. Hear my cry, oh God. Listen to my prayer. From the end of the earth I call to you when my heart is faint. Lead me to the rock that is higher than I. For you have been my refuge, a strong tower against the enemy. Hear my cry, oh